Welcome back to another episode of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on, dude?
On the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
And our logo icon mascot of the year.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of going over through the entire year. This guy is a perfect representation.
It's true. We do have like a variety of little figurines. I mean, reminder, we're in our mid-30s. But we have a variety of different, like, you know.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying. We have a variety of meme figures we could choose from. But this one definitely took the dominant position. Why?
Hold it in front of you, man.
Like where?
Like towards the camera. There you go. That now they can see it.
Oh, yeah. You see that?
Well, a little closer to you.
Yeah, closer to you, because then it's going to zoom in or focus.
Okay. It's perfect positioning.
Who is that guy?
Yeah,
go ahead. We'll explain the relevance of this. To me, this encapsulates Will's whole existence.
It does.
In meme form. But why, dude?
Because they don't know. That's why.
That's what this is, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know your memes, go to knowyourmemes.com. Look up they don't know. And that's what this guy represents. The thing we're missing is the context of like
in a party.
Yeah, this is like a character in like a in a party scene.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like blissfully like enjoying themselves, twerking and such. And then you got Will here in the corner with his cup of like probably like a smoothie of like very healthy substances, like nutrients.
Yeah.
And he's like watching everybody have fun. He's like, dude, they don't even know like the truth.
Yeah, they don't know that Bitmap is about to take over the planet.
They didn't know. And they didn't know a lot of things, right? And it's like because of that, you know.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Tell us. Well, give us like some insight. What does it feel like to be that guy who just?
I actually do feel like this, like constantly.
I know, so
because I participate in these like random conversations with people as you do, and they're just talking about something completely irrelevant and inconsequential and just useless.
And then you have something else in your head, right?
Substance.
Well, something.
Impact.
Okay. What else?
I guess, impact is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think our viewers would agree, right?
Yeah.
I think they quite enjoy the time they've allocated to this channel to kind of like tap into, you know, what's in there, dude. You know? Because otherwise, you know, they'd be out there twerking and such, and you know, their entertainment value would be much lower.
Much lower.
Much lower.
Significantly lower
than what it was a year ago.
Right.
So that's kind of the main takeaway, and this is why this guy has forever positioning.
Yeah, if you're in that party and you see this guy just chilling in the corner, right? He's over here.
Yes.
This is the guy you want to talk to.
But you never do.
But you never do.
Right? Yeah. This guy gets faded.
Yeah.
Just like we did.
Yeah.
We got faded with bitmaps in the early days. We've been faded a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Through the history of our channel. You know, early NFT days, faded.
Yeah.
Early metaverse days, faded.
Big time.
What else? Ordinals, fade. Like a lot of the old relationships we had in the past, like people who were like NFT titans, I would say. We're not going to name names. You know, they every now and then we check in with each other. It's like, hey, man, what are you up to? It's like, you know, I'm doing my own thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Web3, stupid, right? And we're like, no, Web3 is still great.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you're wasting your time over there. You need to come back to Web 2. That's where everything's really happening.
Yeah.
Right? We're like, all right, whatever. We obviously disagree.
Yeah.
And then we tell them all these things that we are predicting.
And discovering.
It's like, dude, there's tremendous potential and value here.
Yeah.
You should probably pay attention. But it's like, nah. No thanks, dude. I'm doing much bigger and better things over here. So go fuck yourself, pretty much. Right? Isn't that a good like synopsis
100%.
of our life?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's why we do this YouTube channel, because I feel like there's a lot more of people like us.
Yeah.
Than there are people who are out there twerking and like.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, that's a hard no.
It's a hard no, Will. All you gotta do is turn on TikTok for like a second, and you'll see how outnumbered you are, dude. In the twerkiverse.
I never use TikTok, so.
Well, I'm just saying.
I guess I really don't know.
You don't know. See? Now you don't know. See?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So, regardless, I don't know, dude. I mean, we're gonna continue to do our thing regardless of what positioning in the party scene we're at.
Yeah,
Who
you know what?
cares?
You know what's hard about what we do is that continuously we question ourselves. We question our gut, and we've been right nearly 100% of the time.
Nearly. Every now and then we'll like a hard whiff.
And it doesn't mean that we discover all gems, right? We're not going to discover all of them.
It's impossible,
right? Because we don't. We just can't.
Yeah. But we've stumbled onto a lot of them, right? Because there's always continual like propositions out there in the space.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody cooking up some new narrative or whatever. But being able to like really figure out which ones are the ones with the most, I guess, most legs, right?
Yeah.
Future potential, value. That is, I feel like a superpower for sure. And that is kind of like the whole point of like exploring this space, right? Because if you can become masters at that, like identifying opportunity, identifying trends.
Yeah, you have the most entertainment potential.
Correct. So that's what we do, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, for this podcast, we're just trying to go through this entire year.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection moment, like a reminiscent of like what we've been through.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, dude, the year went by like this.
Yeah, you know? Just not too long ago, a year ago, we were eating here some wings, some hot wings.
That's right.
It got
was
like
a hot wing challenge.
300 views or something.
Okay.
On the podcast.
Maybe even less than that, possibly.
And it just, well, I wouldn't say it deserves 300 views. There wasn't a whole lot of substance within that podcast, so it makes sense. I mean, unless you guys like watching people eat, which, you know, that's a sector in YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But
definitely not for our demographic.
No.
You know?
No.
But I think during that time, it was much more like it was a doom and gloom era for us.
It was super doom and gloom.
So like we needed to end the year with like something.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, a little bit more like levity.
Yeah.
You know? Not so dire like every single day.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, wow, the sky is falling. We got wars popping up left and right.
SEC is attacking all parts of crypto.
Inflation all-time high.
Yeah.
You know.
Hacks.
It's just there was
fraud.
Right. Fucking social fabric collapsing and such. It's just nonstop. We're like, man, dude, how do we recover?
We eat some wings.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what we need to do? Let's do some hot wings, dude.
Yeah.
And we fucking did it. And, you know, Will had to prove his manhood for a second.
It's and I watched that and I was impressed.
With your own manliness?
Yeah.
It
looked like as if I wasn't in pain.
But I know you were. You just knew the cameras were on. So, like, you couldn't break.
I couldn't. I'm not going to break, dude.
Dude, just be you, dude. Why are you afraid to?
I am. That's me, dude.
I'm just saying, like, if you're in pain, just let it out, dude. Let people know.
Nah.
No? Okay.
Superman wouldn't do that.
Okay. All right, dude. That's why you pass out in fucking airports and stuff. You know what I mean?
You know what happened? There was kryptonite in the area. And
that's right. That's what it was. Denver is polluted with kryptonite.
It must have been. That's the only explanation.
Speaking of Denver, dude, that's another like benchmark or like of like how quick time is gone.
So yeah, so we were just talking about eating wings. This was like November, December timeframe.
It was literally like before the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I guess the next milestone is Denver.
Which was what, February or March?
February.
So this is pre-ordinals. This is like, okay, we found ordinals. We had a couple videos on the channel.
Yeah.
Because we heard about it. It's like there's this new like sequential numbering scheme on Bitcoin. Like that's interesting.
Yeah.
But there was no like proof in the air like anybody was really gonna give a fuck.
Right.
Like we cared only because it was so interesting and new and it's like it's on Bitcoin. Like, wow, this is interesting.
It was interesting.
But then we started to like investigate. Is like this is very primitive. There is no infrastructure.
But the concept of numbering Satoshis and the way that Casey did it was very interesting.
Yeah, it was something we haven't seen before.
Did you know that we're more than just a YouTube channel? We also built Mscribe, the first inscription platform built from the ground up for the metaverse on Bitcoin. Connect your Bitmap ordinals and use our tools to bring your community into the virtual realm. Support us by joining the movement at mscribe.io. Like, comment, and subscribe for the latest alpha. Back to the video.
We knew there was like a superpower unlock, untapped potential on Bitcoin, right? I mean, it was hovering around $400-500 billion of resting liquidity. And it's like we obviously we experienced all the activities of Ethereum. It was like, dude, somebody's trying to do this on Bitcoin. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it's like this was a wait and see moment. So in that original video, we're like, we just need to see a couple new indicators, right? Maybe like some more infrastructure, some marketplaces, some inscription services, so we don't have to run Bitcoin cores to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe like a big player entering the space to do like an ordinal collection.
Right.
And then all those things kind of happened like really quickly.
They did.
With the Yuga Labs Skittles drop.
Yeah.
That was like a holy shit. Yuga Labs is paying attention.
Yeah.
We probably should too. Right?
Yeah. That was a big indicator.
That was it. That was like, well, that plus when we went to ETH Denver, the consensus guy, what's his name? Joe Lubin?
Mm-hmm.
He went on stage and he was asked a very critical questions like, you're obviously a billionaire. You've made a lot of right calls in the past. So what do you think? What are you most bullish on in all of crypto?
Yeah.
And his answer was Bitcoin ordinals, which to me was like, what the fuck? The Ethereum guy is like claiming the Bitcoin ordinals is like what we should all be paying attention to. This is back in March, pre-BRC20s, right?
Yeah, I mean, and there was little to suggest that it was something to pay attention to.
Well, when you mean like suggest, you mean like basically
like what gave him that confidence, that conviction that it was Bitcoin ordinals? That's his answer as to being the most bullish on.
Yeah, in light of like LSDFi, like all these things are happening on Ethereum, right? Real world assets.
Yeah.
What else is going on over there?
People still think that that's
like,
going to be a thing.
I mean, it will, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a thing, dude.
It will be a thing, but come on, be like excited about it. I don't know.
I mean, it is eventually it's going to come to Bitcoin. Then everyone's going to be excited about it, right?
I don't know.
It already is. It's happening on stacks, liquid stake derivatives. I just staked.
I guess.
I just staked some stack. Oh, you're talking about real world assets?
Yeah, RWAs. Yeah.
Of course, that's coming.
It is coming.
It's probably going to come to stacks too because it's like a regulated entity, I guess.
Yeah, I guess when I think of RWAs, I'm thinking more like hard, tangible things,
like gold and stuff.
That and like house deeds.
Yeah, and equities and such.
Equities, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that's eventually going to come on chain for sure.
So anyway, Joe Lubin chimes in with the ordinals, and so that gives us the, I guess, initial fire to relook into it.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon after, we discovered BRC20s.
Yeah, and I guess that was actually like that was the moment where we got sucked in for good.
That was
it.
Yeah, because we discovered it, and the total market cap for BRC20s was like 20 million, 23 million.
It was infant, right?
Yeah. As a matter
of fact, that was the opportunity, right?
What we should do is just bring up our actual timeline, dude, called YouTube.
Yeah, but what do you do with that? Like, we're not going to watch the videos.
No, we're not watching the videos, but we're at least going to recount.
Okay. Yeah, that's a proper way to kind of like go through the year.
Yeah, so...
and obviously, at some point, we discovered AI, as you can tell by our thumbnails. You know?
Yeah.
43 of the Block Runner podcast. I'm your host, William.
Genesis.
Wow, look at this, dude. This is a relic.
Interviewing Andreas Antonopoulos.
The man who got us into crypto in the first place.
Yeah.
Our white whale.
Well, we're going way too far back. This is 3 years ago.
This is 2020's recap.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
How are you going to do this, dude?
Yeah, just go back in time.
Well, all you got to do is find like the first video where we talk ordinals and then just kind of go from there.
Okay, here we go. 11 months ago.
It's got to be around this time frame.
We're talking about DeFi 2.0, dude.
And a lot of AI.
And AI entering the metaverse, the Decentraland ENS worlds will spark the metaverse mania.
There you go. Talking about whiffs. It didn't really take off as much as we anticipated, but it was still a good concept, right? I mean, the idea of increasing accessibility to your metaverse,
right,
is obviously working. Hence, like this bitmap mania spreading and permeating every chain, right? Everybody wants a taste.
Yeah,
right. You haven't found it yet, dude?
Social tokens, a failed crypto sector, dude. This was an easy call. You were baffled. baffled by social tokens being
A bust.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I felt like it was a a potential like boom sector, especially with Rally in particular. It was backed by A16Z and Coinbase Ventures.
Well, to me, it was easy to call Rally like not that great because when you go and look at it, everybody was like, "Buy my token so you can buy my T-shirt." Like that makes no sense. There's no value in that.
Well, I mean, some said buy my T-shirts. Others could say, it's just
No, most that was most what was happening.
Right.
And then after that, AI. So we're not going to go through every video, but it's like, okay, so we're going into like AI. We discovered AI. Chat GPT released a few months ago at that time. And it's like, okay, that means AI is going to just engulf all of crypto.
Yeah.
Most of crypto is going to be AI projects.
Yeah.
And that really didn't manifest all that much, not as much as I thought it would.
Not yet, I think. But I think there probably will be a point in time in the next cycle where we'll probably get a lot of AI intersect, especially now with like this whole metaverse thing. I think there is like a vertical there where we can explore further like AI, Web3 AI primitives and like metaverse projects and such, and create new sectors out of that. I think it is possible because we've already seen like AI attempts at creating simulations and such and coming up with interesting, conclusions to their hypotheses. Like what happens when you put different AIs with different personalities and such, different parameters in the same environment? Like, well, what's the outcome? What can we learn from this?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the metaverse is like the perfect fucking landscape to continue down that path of experimentation, right?
Yeah.
What can we learn from observing like this new artificial life form we've created, and like extrapolate?
And we can learn a lot, right?
I think so, and I think that will continue. It's like a whole field of a new science potentially.
Yeah. Did you know that we're more than just a YouTube channel?
We also built MetaZone, the first app store for the metaverse.
Buy, sell, and explore a new class of digital assets like our flagship game Rovi.ai.
Support us by collecting your digital assets through MetaZone at metazone.io.
Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated.
Back to the video.
And then look at this video, dude. Why Decentraland Mana will take off and become a top 10 crypto
So much
project.
for not going to look at every video, dude. You're literally going one by one.
No, it's just, dude, it helps us really contextualize the inflection point. Like, just the sudden mind shift. Because we learned a lot. Like, we were predicting Mana being top 10 crypto because we were under the
I see what you're saying.
presupposition, the assumption
like
that
this is the only metaverse.
This is like the concept of Decentraland and like the way it was generated, like this was it. Like this is how things
That's true.
unfold in the future.
That's because the big inflection point as far as this metaverse discussion, I guess 6 months into the future from where we're at now will be Bitmap, obviously.
Yeah, because to me, this is an important discussion because it is as if we kind of zoomed out, like we're fish in the water in like the ocean. We zoomed out and it's like, holy shit, we are fish in water. It's like there's more to the outside in the outside world than this.
Yeah.
Right. And because when you're a fish, you don't really realize that you're in water. You're just in it. You just go with the flow.
So you're saying we had tunnel vision, basically.
Yeah.
But at this time, but I don't think we did. It's just we knew, we were aware of. I feel like the entire metaverse landscape and ecosystem.
We were not aware that it was completely arbitrary. Like that wasn't a thought that entered our minds. Like,
agreed. Well, that's my point. Is like it took like the injection of this new.
Right, that's my
paradigm.
point. Yes, that's my point.
Yeah.
But at the time, we didn't know. Like, we didn't know that this, our entire existence is completely arbitrary, right, in crypto. Like, that wasn't a distinction that we were making when thinking about cryptocurrencies.
No, definitely not.
And so that is the difference, right? Now that, eventually we get to Bitmap here. But yeah, now a little bit of sadness with, I guess, the SEC.
Oh, here we go.
That's a pretty good thumbnail right there, the Thor one.
Oh, yeah. Is the SEC banhammer coming for Ethereum?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, see, dude, fucking thumbnail gurus here, dude.
Yeah, we're already taking advantage of, like, AI, dude.
Well, yeah, obviously. It's like, that was a big sector, so.
Yeah.
Let's leverage its tools.
What's the inflection point between, okay, so it was pretty recent. Like this is it. I think this is the first AI generation, and it's just a picture.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, so all right, moving on. The hero we need: Brian Armstrong, Dex War, NFT War, Blur, Kill OpenSea, Coinbase, Based, Optimistic, Rollups
With Arbitrum?
with Arbitrum,
Yeah, dude, we could have gone like so many different directions.
Bitcoin Inscriptions. Why
Like
Yuga Labs?
from that point of that Arbitrum video, we could have literally just went to Arbitrum completely and just focused on that ecosystem. We could have done that.
Yeah,
And we would have missed ordinals completely.
right,
The whole thing.
right.
But we didn't. Thank God. I mean, Arbitrum's not like a nothing burger, but I think we landed in like literally the perfect spot.
Yeah, we did.
It almost feels like destiny, dude.
So 9 months ago, why Yuga Labs just started the $100 billion Bitcoin BTC Inscription Mania. Is this our first Inscription video?
You have one right above it called Bitcoin Ordinals Taking Off.
I don't think that's the first one, dude. I think there's one older than that. We must have somehow passed it. I remember. Right there. Well, Bitcoin Ordinals.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. 128 views, dude. Nobody faded.
Wow.
Faded. Nobody gave up.
Man, I'm kind of curious as to what we said.
I think we looked at Casey Rodimer's like.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah,
we broke it down.
We just looked at Casey Rodimer's ordinal theory. We're like, we were looking at the sequential numbering scheme and like there's rare Satoshis. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that was it, really. And then we just extrapolated. Are people actually going to use this fucking thing?
Right.
Because people were, but again, it was so completely very difficult.
Yeah, you need to run a Bitcoin core.
Yeah, and that was kind of like a huge turnoff point to us, just because.
It's like, man, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we had so many other things
Yeah.
to work on. It's like, that's just more work.
Right.
But those who actually took in that initiative, largely like existing like Bitcoin ecosystem participants have been around for years.
Yeah.
They were able to capitalize on that and be early, right?
Yeah.
Now they're really enjoying that positioning.
So this is February.
Yeah.
And then we talk about it with Yuga Labs. Like, wait a minute. Yuga Labs is a big deal.
And that title, I feel like, is accurate. That was the start to a 100 billion. I mean, we're way past 100 billion. I think in the last week there's been 400. Oh, no, sorry. 400 million.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We're on our way, though, to like collectively $100 billion inscription mania.
We're kind of, yeah, we're on our way, right? We're at like 5-6 billion altogether.
It's not clickbait. We're just too soon.
Yeah.
That's
It's
right.
just early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're early.
Like, we're actually from the future.
Yeah.
And we know at some point there's $100 billion
That's right.
being generated from inscriptions.
It's reasonable.
I don't think it was back then, though. Like, but that was our thesis, right?
Yeah.
Again, because I think in that very first video, it was like, we just need to see a few things. And then they started to show. And it's like, all right, that's all we needed to see.
Yeah.
That's kind of like whenever we predicted the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I just need to see a couple of things happen for this to be like officially like pandemic status, even though our government is like hiding this information from us and such.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to see this. And then I have enough evidence or data to suggest like I can extrapolate and
Mm-hmm.
predict what's going to happen a year out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So you leverage those same thought mechanics
Right.
to predict the future of ordinals, right?
Right.
And anybody could do this. This isn't really.
No.
Yeah.
Arbitrum airdrop.
So yeah, obviously we're not completely sold yet, right?
Right.
It's we're gonna find out where we
Yeah, correct.
when we get locked.
Bitcoin to 100K. Financial collapse imminent.
Some of the doom we're talking about.
Polygon, immutable multi-billion-dollar partnership.
There's one right there that says SEC brings doom and gloom.
Where?
Down below. Down.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Brings doom and
The one
gloom.
with Gary with the clown nose.
Yeah, this is when I think we're at like our
Peak.
all-time low.
Yeah.
Like,
All-time low, right?
Like you were literally like about to just end it, dude.
Yeah.
Like jump off some imaginary cliff because
It's like, what are we doing here?
right.
Yeah, I was asking.
It was bad. Bad times, dude. Bad times.
SEC comes down on Coinbase. That's our title. We could have done better than that.
We were probably tired or something, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Urgent. The economy is near death.
Near death, dude. You can't get any worse than that.
Yeah. We interview the founder of Boson Protocol.
That was actually an interesting interview.
Yeah. Okay. Are BTC ordinal inscriptions the biggest opportunity in crypto? 8 months ago.
I wonder what happened there to like make us take a pause and think that before BRC20s. Something must have been happening. Like, fuck, I wish we could just like AI generate. Oh, can we read the summary maybe? We have, in case you didn't know, there better be a summary on this one.
Probably
Okay.
not.
No, there is. Yuga Labs.
Yuga Labs, they pull off $15 million. $15 million, it's not even as cool as Cool Cats or whatever.
Bitcoin
Cats.
Yeah, well, you introduced the theory where maybe Bitcoin Cats is just like a money laundering scheme potentially, but
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Totally not claiming as such, but
right.
Hold on. You said also Magic Eden, popular Solana NFT marketplace platform, has decided to support. Oh, so like Magic Eden is now like entering the space. That's
a pretty big deal.
That's a big sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a major marketplace.
Oh, look at this. Also, smart contract support for Bitcoin network is being facilitated by Stacks, which will aid in Bitcoin's rise as a competing digital asset and DeFi ecosystem and Ethereum, or to Ethereum.
That's right, dude.
This is in March 27, 2023, dude.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
Didn't I see you editing this before we started this podcast?
Why are you fucking
negative, dude?
Exposing us, TJ.
Negative.
We're trying to be like geniuses here and such, but no, dude. I mean, I don't know if that was
only jokes.
I know. Damn it, dude. How'd you? Oh yeah, we lost our spot. But we're definitely getting close. Yeah.
Okay.
So like the signs are in the air, dude. It's like
we call DeFi on Bitcoin.
Well, wasn't it obvious, dude?
Not at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't. But that's the point, dude. You just gotta. All you have to do is look.
Yeah, you just gotta watch the channel. That's it.
Well, that's not what I mean. You just gotta look at like. Well, yeah. I mean, that is the value that we provide, right? Because that's what we do all day. It's like we're fucking looking.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time out of your day to like stay looking, right? So
yeah,
there is a lot of value in that. And, we distribute all of these findings for free.
We do.
Here
we are. Elon just sparked the coming decentralized AI crypto revolution. ZK EVMs. Is the metaverse dead? Microsoft. Oh, yeah. Microsoft and Disney abandoned ship. This is all-time low metaverse sentiment.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was like, holy shit. Like Disney, like, literally offed like hundreds of employees. It's like, yeah, you guys working on the metaverse? No thanks. Stop. Yeah. And like, there's Mitch who interviewed like one of my pals about like the doom and gloom of the economy.
That's right.
I remember this, dude.
That needs more views.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, pretty much. We just like was like, why is money bullshit? It's like, well, it just is. Like,
dude, some of these are really good videos and they have no views.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we put our fucking balls and sweat into every single one of these things, dude. Even if the market doesn't care.
Right.
We try our best, always.
Yeah, will the dollar's collapse result in a new crypto world order? Doge to rule?
I don't remember that one.
Where? Wait, what? Will the dollar's collapse? Doge? I don't know. That probably has something to do with Elon.
Oh, yeah. I think Elon switch the icon, the Twitter icon for Doge. Yeah. Why improbable? M² just unleashed a new metaverse age.
So this is probably like MML.
This is the second trip.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, probably, I think so.
Yeah, because a couple of videos.
Yeah, that's
later,
right.
Here's MML.
Yeah,
and this is a big deal for us, which we could potentially explain later why.
Yeah. Okay, we got superheroes, Layer 0 protocol, Stargate, crypto AI, Oh, generative. This is our like AI like section of the year because everybody was talking about ChatGPT.
Yeah, we went like a hard month on AI.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we wanted to know like this sector, right? It's like
Yeah, personal AI. We interview that CEO, Ultra. Dude,
here's Tao.
this is where I think everything started for us, really, like in the sense of like excitement for the year.
I see. It's like we found something new, right?
Yeah, we found like the gem of all gems.
Right. We found something that's like that kind of like blew our hair back a bit
Yeah.
after like a solid year of fucking like flaccid hair.
Yeah, this was like
You know what I mean?
well, this was like I don't know, man. This is different. This was like there's still hope in crypto.
That's a good way to sum it up. Yeah.
Like people are actually doing something constructive with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and then like the potential like positive net effect that can have on humanity is actually tangible. Yeah. Something you can actually
That's right.
Observe and predict and understand is like AI is potentially a tremendous problem for humanity. So
and the fact that it's on cryptocurrency just
adds a little bit of juice to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that took us down the path of like, let's explore all the other AI tokens out there, like Fetch.
That one right there, Will. YBRC20 on ordinals.
So this is it.
Down.
You missed it, dude. You literally went right over that one. How dare you, dude? No, this is the one that actually started. Look at that, 9,000 views. Oh, that was huge for us because I mean, during that time we were averaging like 200, 300 views.
Damn.
And we're like, whoa. So yeah, this is when we discovered like a 20 million market cap BRC20.
Right.
Probably like a 50 cent Ordi token.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Track was on the list yet.
No.
Like it was that early. And we're like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Some psychopath out there decided to make Inscription tokens.
That's right.
Another Anon.
Yeah, this was like hard to like comprehend at the time. I was like, Jason.
Right.
Like, what does it have to do with fungible tokens?
Yeah. And this is before like Unisat was even like online. People were just OTC these things, which they still do these days with every other new token protocol that comes out literally daily.
Yeah, and then another video a few days later, why BTC Ordinals BRC20 Mania will kickstart the next crypto bull run. What a call, dude.
Banger.
7 months ago.
Oh, Oshi Finance.
Yeah, this is where we started to like investigate. Like, is there any like?
Oh, that's it. Yeah. So this is the start. This was like, wait a minute. Yeah, this is it. This is the inflection point.
Yeah. There was enough pull here to take us away from AI.
Dude, Alex, we talked about Alex 7 months ago?
Of course we did, dude.
What is happening?
Do you not even know what content we make or what, dude?
Dude, I
There's
told
stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, SRC20 stacks.
SRC20, dude. Stamps are taking off. They're booming. If you want to watch that SRC20 video, you could have got like Stamp or Kevin, like sub 1 million market cap.
Yeah.
Talking like 200,000 market cap. We found SRC20s way earlier than when we found VRC20s, you know?
Yeah.
So, unreal.
Oh, bigger than Chainlink. Here's Track. 300x upside potential for entertainment.
Has it already hit 300x? Because that around then it was like 7 cents. So that's like 100x.
Yeah.
It's on its way to a 300x for sure. So
Yeah.
another not clickbait title, dude. Not at all.
I mean, God.
What's wrong, dude?
What an error humanity has made missing our videos. What an error.
Well, I mean, it happens, dude. Look at this. China's big project, the metaverse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is great. Binance under attack. Look at that. It's like pre-predicted that he would go to a jail, but he didn't really go to jail. He just paid $4 billion.
No, but I knew he was up to some mischievous non-goods, dude. Like ever since I laid my eyes on him,
yeah,
I just got bad juju's. And like as soon as they started like offering Lambos for trades,
yeah,
trading activities, like dude, this cannot be good.
Yeah,
but it took many years for that to come come apart, you know.
Yeah, and look at this. We did an LSDFi video.
Yeah, because you know there is shit happening on Ethereum. Don't forget.
Yeah, it was like the one little peek into Ethereum.
No, eventually we'll do another one because, like, you know, inscriptions.
Yeah,
You know.
we got Metaverse Heroes coming out with the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, that was interesting. We were all scattered around watching that one for sure.
Recursive inscriptions just made ordinals $1 trillion opportunity.
Yeah, dude. Shout out Danny Yang.
It's a bitmap.
And then finally,
Oh, this is the one. This is the real inflection point. Well, they all are, but
will Bitmap become the metaverse standard on Bitcoin? That's a
You did say it was a must watch.
We did say
we did say that. So if you did not must watch it, you obviously didn't read the title.
we should have gone bigger with the title though.
Like what, dude?
Will Bitmap become the biggest NFT project in crypto?
Oh, come on, dude. How are you going to say that from the rip?
I mean, we kind of did say that in the video.
Like on the first one?
I mean, I don't know if we said that, but it was like
Eventually, I'm pretty sure. I mean, actually, that was the title of our like
last video.
Because I mean, now it's becoming pretty obvious. But I mean, dude, this is the metaverse standard on Bitcoin. Like that's a huge claim, right? Oh, come on, dude.
Is that a big claim? I don't know. I don't know if it's a big claim.
Whatever, dude.
All right, so we got new metaverse tech. Bitmap is growing. We got SEC bleeding crypto. So a bunch of look.
Oh, here we go. Why Bitmap is a failed ordinal concept. That was like we made that video the day after we went on Trevor's Twitter space, and where they were all kind of like collectively. Well, it was like a back and forth. You know, Jack Liu joined in.
Yeah.
IMSO Chris hopped in. There were others like, dude, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how are you fading this? And they're like, you guys are all nuts.
Right.
They're like, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if they said dumb, but you guys.
Look at the very next title of that. Of the next one.
Yeah.
I think like
the king of ordinals. So this is before it was like I mean, we're talking like blockout hasn't even occurred yet, has it?
No.
Yeah. And we're all like calling it the king, which it is now.
It is, yeah.
And it's going to be the king of all
NFTs,
crypto.
Yeah.
5 straight bitmap videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to level up Bitmap to 100 billion market? 100 billion market.
Yeah, market, not
not market cap.
Yeah, there's gonna be $100 billion economy at some point
Yeah.
on Bitmap. It's a certainty.
Okay, what are inscriptions? Interesting.
Yeah, we called the fucking pandemic 5 months ago.
We did.
Again, it's just all you have to do is get these indicators, right? Oh, it's spread to Ethereum. It's definitely gonna spread everywhere else.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Here we go. Blockout time.
Bitmap blockout incoming.
This is one of the more interesting moments here, dude. Like waiting for that blockout.
Could blockgate kill Bitmap? Oh, this was like, should we allow future bitmaps or not?
Oh yeah, that was like a pretty big debate.
And then finally, happy Bitmap blockout day.
We did it.
We did this. All right. Then we interview IMSO Chris. We talk about Bitmap parcels. Will Bitmap be bigger than the Ethereum metaverse?
That's right.
$7 billion opportunity.
That must have been the value of like.
We're an earshot away from that.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Like, it's 200 million market cap, 5x from here, then a 7x.
Yeah.
25x from the
What would that put like
35.
the floor price at? Like almost 3,000 per parcel? Wait, no. Way more than that, right?
Yeah.
Like 10,000?
No. Like 6,000 or 7,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I mean, it's possible. For sure.
100x track.
Yeah, this is whenever we started to take notice. Like,
Yeah, that's when we realized, like, you know what? Indexing is a pretty important component to ordinals.
it's massively important. Yeah, and there's only like one project, I guess, like all in trying to address that dilemma.
Yeah.
Right? It was track.
Yeah.
And they were supporting Bitmap, I think, around this time too. It's like, dude, Benny knows what he's doing. That's a big opportunity.
Yeah, we interview the guys from Expector.
Yeah, we're starting to like build our network, I guess, with different contributors on Bitmap. Because now that the blockout already happened, it's like, all right, now who's gonna build some shit? So we started to meet all these people.
Right.
Bitmap Phase 2. Now we're talking about, that's when we introduced Mscribe.
Yeah, Occupy Bitcoin starts now, introducing Mscribe Bitmap Inscription platform.
Very nice. Yeah, obviously the motivations for Mscribe is to serve as parcelization, right?
Look at the title of this one. Will parcel inscriptions kill Bitmap? Parcelization of a bitmap was also faded. People didn't even understand that.
I mean, it's still faded.
It's still faded, yeah.
Yeah. It got faded to the point where people are like, they're doing Twitter votes. Like, we need to just remove this from the standard.
Ridiculous.
Well, we're going to show you guys soon. Once we're done, I guess this is a little recap.
Yeah.
Why parcels matter.
What's the time, TJ, so far?
We're at 40 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll speed this up. All right.
Yeah, I think we got the point. It's like we're pretty much all Bitmap for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Right? A little sprinkle, a little bit of track.
Why the Bitcoin is going to boom and drive the next 100,000x bull market. Man, if you... Anyone who's been watching the Block Runner podcast and our videos, what an opportunity. What a preparation you guys have had over the last 12 months. 10 months.
It's going to keep happening too, dude.
Jack Liu. It's a great podcast. Great interview.
Yeah. There's one right above that.
Peak crypto bear market introducing the digital matter theory 4 months ago.
Wow. And
not only that, we introduced it in the last 5 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. Correct.
And then is Batoshi losing his mind? That's when he was talking about
tits. Yeah. Yeah, it was like a little like, what the fuck, dude? It's like
that was a distraction.
The community was like, dude, it's like we're on fire, dude. It's like, can you
just stop.
Put the tits away for a minute, let's focus on the the culture of it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Another DMT.
And then he literally went away for like 2 months. He's like, see ya.
Yeah.
Going to a festival, and then everyone thought maybe he died or something.
Right.
Just disappeared. And he came back with like a fucking crazy white paper effort, right?
Yeah. Will Track's new tap token standard create $1 billion mania? That's still coming, right? It is coming, actually.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't hit anywhere. Well, tap tokens are still like, so that's like, another call here.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a call.
Yeah, like, because we've obviously made the full-on adoption effort we're leveraging tap to enable digital matter theory, right? And non-arbitrary tokens. So if that's not a signal, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so now we finally introduce for 24 minutes how digital matter theory can generate non-arbitrary tokens on Bitmap. And when we release this, our actual DMT, clearly people aren't paying attention, so they assume that we're competing with Bitmap when its entire genesis was to complement Bitmap.
Correct.
We got some hot ordinals, dude.
That's right. At this point, we were like, I guess, vicarious or something. I don't know. We just decided, it's like, we know what we need. You know what our channel needs? Like ripped dudes. It's like, fuck it, dude. Let's go. But that was our Ken Lau interview, right?
No, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. No, Xverse funding secure. This is the first indicator that VCs were looking into ordinals.
That's right, yeah.
This was a big deal.
It was a big deal. Another signal.
Yeah.
Hence, hot rip, dude. And then another Inscriptions video.
Yeah, Inscriptions kill ordinals.
God, dude. Yeah, we found Inscriptions literally again at like a fucking 4 million. Well, ETH S, which is like their first mint,
Yeah.
Like 4 million market cap. But now it's like 300 million.
300 million, yeah.
Absurd.
Damn, that's another almost 100x.
Another banger, dude.
From Vaporware to Revolution, Satoshi OB. Yeah, this stuff kind of blew up.
Yeah,
They're still working on stuff, but
correct. I think they're migrating to CBRC20s, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But still, it was an interesting concept, interesting interview.
Yeah, then we talk about the meme ordinals are dead, and then friend tech.
I remember that.
What happened to this? You
I
know,
don't
like have
know.
you been like?
Not at all.
Man.
I think it might have actually just been a fad, and
Yeah,
it kind of adds into the
obviously, dude.
I mean, it wasn't so obvious at the time.
No, absolutely was obvious. It absolutely was. I'm sure
Okay.
people are still using it. It's just, I
Yeah.
mean, come on, what are you gonna do with this?
Okay.
Oh, we interview Benny here.
I still
friends.
play NFL Rivals there.
There we go.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
You know, this was a random.
Wait, but we interview Tom Lehman here.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
We love Tom.
dude. NFL Rivals. We wanted to interview their CEO, but I did get to DM him and stuff, but never got around to it.
They're busy people.
Shit, my bad. Oh no, we're gonna start over.
Oh no, dude, it's all
Rip.
lost. It's over. All right, there it
Oh,
is.
here we go. Okay, so
Definitely need to speed this up.
yeah, so do we do an interview in the metaverse, dude?
That was sick. This is like a foreshadowing of what's to come
Yeah,
in Bitmap.
that's right.
So a part of this was like these are some of like the real like OG like metaverse architects. They've been building longer than we have. Some of them.
Yeah, 100%.
And we know these guys from our previous efforts, right? And we're like, it's basically, they wanted to be informed, like, what the hell's going on Bitcoin,
Mhm.
Bitmap. And in this conversation, we explain it to them,
That's right.
right? So
And
this
then-
is the class of developer we're trying to recruit over here.
Yeah, 100%. So then we have a video. Bitmap is back. Why Bitmap is reclaiming top ordinal's glory. So there was like a little down phase for Bitmap,
Yeah.
and then an uptick. We Foxyverse, Bitmap Valley updates. We got ordinals are going mainstream. Drive chains, Ken Lau. Parent-child inscriptions kickstart the next 100 billion NFT art craze. Dude, that's cool, man. I want to watch this one again.
That's right. Here he comes, like Ordinal Takeover.
Ordinal
I think,
takeover
begins.
Yeah. Inscribing the future, exploring the intersection of DMT, Bitmap, and the
Probably Metaverse.
Animoca brands confirm that the metaverse will be built on Bitcoin
Yeah.
and then Sats to the promised land.
So Animoca brands not officially coming to Bitmap yet, but I think
They're going to have no
they
choice.
have no choice. Yeah, you're not gonna. Sorry.
Life Beyond?
Yeah, like we told you this
We
from the
did.
beginning. It's like you cannot come in and try and create a competing like metaverse ecosystem to Bitmap. You're gonna have to come in and full in adopt and build with it.
Yeah, like
Or else-
completely adopt it.
Yeah, or else you're just not part of the metaverse on Bitcoin ecosystem. You're not. You could say you are.
Yeah, you could say you're building stuff on top of Bitcoin, but
Just launch a token and say this is a Bitcoin
yeah,
ecosystem token. That's not gonna stick.
yeah, the market.
That's our advice to you guys.
Yeah,
Anybody
I
who's
agree.
considering that's a mistake. And the market will tell you it's a mistake. They'll show you.
They'll show you. Yeah,
That's the
I
little
agree,
word of
dude.
advice to anybody who wants to not do that.
All right, so track shows the way. Bitmap is close to takeoff. Bitmap takeover. Outrage! Did Casey Rummer just kill ordinals?
So this is where Casey was starting to lose his mind now.
Yeah, he
like
was.
every day, he's just like,
Yeah, but he messed up. This was like the reinscription, like the
That's
numbering. Yeah, he
Yeah.
messed up. So
yeah, it was pissing off a lot of people.
a D from Genie Data.
Fucking beast.
Yeah. How to build your own $1 million metaverse on Bitmap.
Using inscribed.space, another beast.
Mm-hmm. Bitcoin Civil War. Runes killing BRC20s. More Bitmap stuff. We got satting.io.
Yeah, we're starting to explore the rare sat economy.
Here we are with the Metaverse on Bitcoin interview with Ben Charbit, Life Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
More takeovers. Oh, we got Ordinal's wallet interview. That was
Oh, yeah.
great.
Yeah, this is where Elon Moist kind of like began his president of Bitcoin campaign, right?
That's right.
It was
right.
very interesting. And of course, dude, yeah, these guys are somehow. Oh, wait, and then after that was
Recursive IO.
yeah, this is Jeff, dude. So I think this is probably like pre BRC 420s, right?
Yeah.
Most likely. Yeah. We need to get them back on for sure.
BitVM, Ordinal Takeover video, Unleashing the Rare Sats Economy, Gansey.
Mm-hmm.
Gansey interview, Atomical's interview. We talk about the interview with Lex Friedman and Zuck.
Jeez, dude.
Inscriptions update, BitGod interview.
Yeah.
Elon's all in. He mentions, well, he didn't mention ordinals, but he mentions
it without actually mentioning it,
Yeah.
but he understands the innate value to it without even being aware that it exists, you know?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude, this is getting exhausting.
Danny Yang.
I can't believe we made all this in 1 year, dude.
How many videos did we make? I think y'all did it,
I
right?
think it was like 250.
That's content, boys.
Thank you, TJ. If we're not dubbed the content kings of crypto YouTube at this point, I don't know. I don't know what else you guys want.
Yeah, you go look at other crypto YouTubers. They're talking about Ethereum, dude. Remember Ethereum? What's happening?
It's true. Yeah, you go to like some of these bigger. You're talking like the hundreds of thousands of sub crypto YouTuber influencers.
Yeah,
they've been talking about like just like Bitcoin for like the whole year, or like or just.
Well,
they've missed this whole thing.
They did
completely. The whole thing.
The whole thing.
They missed all of this, dude.
Not a mention.
It's kind of like it's shocking.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, how? Like their job is to inform the public.
Yeah.
Like their only job. Because keep in mind, this is not all we do.
Yeah, that's right.
We are active developers, and we've been building, alongside this.
Yeah. Cut to the bumper. Which says this
is
all
does
we
say
do.
That?
Yeah.
Dude, damn it, dude. You should now for the next one just cut that out, and that'll start our little infomercial.
And then finally, we released Digital Matter Theory.
Yeah, after like 4 months of cooking it up, like how the fuck are we gonna do this?
And we get some hate, a lot of love, and some hate.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let us explain.
That's right. And then immediately it's like, oh, I guess you guys liked it.
Yeah, so it got blacked out in 7 days. We only talked about it
like once
after the drop.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
It's unbelievable.
This is the second all-time blockout in Bitcoin history.
It's true.
Yeah. And this is a non-arbitrary token that is fungible. You know what comes with fungibility, man?
Fun
and liquidity.
Agility.
That's right.
That's right.
And then here we explain how to inscribe BMT and like what it means. This is a big deal video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
yeah,
and then now we're
here,
caught up.
Thank God, that was one hell of a journey, dude. Fuck,
man. What?
I don't even know how we did this, to be honest.
And we doubled our subscribers, basically 2x.
Yeah.
In the year.
So I guess this is the perfect opportune to like really thank you guys.
Yep.
Those who supported us, those who fucking actually have been telling your friends and family. So you guys need to tune into this channel.
Right.
And therefore have like blessed them with entertainment gains of a lifetime. Yeah. So yeah, just thank you guys tremendously, because we're definitely on the right pathway. That's the grand takeaway here.
That's right.
Somehow the universe has selected us to be the purveyors of like letting the world know like what is the biggest opportunity on the horizon. This is it.
Yeah.
So this is and we're gonna continue that.
Yeah. Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Speaking of congratulations, let's jump into the metaverse, dude. Are you here with me, or is your computer shot?
Hold on, dude. It's in sleep mode.
Do you want to hide that link?
Oh, that's right.
It's too late. It's ruined.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Season Pro.
MVP, dude.
200 videos.
MVP TJ, dude. Production quality definitely increased dramatically once TJ joined the squad.
Right. That's right.
You guys don't even want to know what this shit used to look like. That was pretty bad. And we've been getting a lot of compliments about this production, dude. Like people,
that's true.
They said it last night. TJ was like, "Dude, professional. You guys have a professional show." I swear to God, that's what they've been saying. It's like, I know, dude.
Yeah, what Trevor says does matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah. I think I'm fucking broken, dude. Sorry.
God.
Hold on. I'm coming. Just go ahead and run around and
Hold on.
explain.
Let me refresh the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Okay. Fuck.
All right. So bear with us. We are hopefully refreshing the page.
Oh no, dude.
Uh-oh. Well,
Wah,
I,
wah, wah, wah.
I think we can talk about it as is. All right.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're running around in the Bitmap OS. This is the Bitmap operating system from yours truly, Block Runner, MetaZone, Roby, and Mscribe, all the same, all as one. And I'm kind of traveling around, as you can see, is like wait a minute, this kind of looks like a bitmap, doesn't it? Right? First, orange squares.
It sure does.
They're sort of oriented in a bitmap sort of way.
Yeah.
Right? As you can see, this is like a tiny little square.
Yes.
Right? And then much bigger square, and then we have like gigantic squares, right? That sort of looks like a bitmap. So what governs the size of the square, you may ask? The size of the Bitcoin transaction. That's what governs the size of the square.
Right. So very similar to how the bitmaps are rendered in the 2D portrait that they are being distributed by, right?
That's right.
Yeah. The point is you've generated a 3D virtual environment that is actually true to the bitmap theory, right?
Yeah. So let's kind of paint the picture here. So we're looking at 535.646. That's one of our bitmaps. Let's kind of go through Mscribe. And let's pull up 535.646. So, yeah. And what you'll be able to do is, remember we were talking about parcelization earlier in the call today, the conversation.
Yeah, how it's been like largely faded, and I kind of understand the sentiment just because, you know, degens will degen. They're gonna kind of like lean a little bit towards degenomics as opposed to sound fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what would probably make these even more valuable is like let's reduce the probability of somehow increasing the supply into the future.
Correct.
We've gone so as far as like let's completely like put a fork in the whole like digital matter theory concept. Let's choose a block height and just end it there.
Yeah.
Like, so there is like a camp of people who want to kind of disrupt what's been incepted here, just to kind of fit within like the degenomic schemes of non-sustainable crypto economics.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know why people would want to do that. It's very short-sighted. Obviously, most people, they're not thinking about the long-term consequence of that.
Dude, you know what's crazy? It's that degenomics is not as valuable as fundamental economics.
Well, no, I know. Yeah.
And we're talking about the fundamental value of what's possible with Bitmap. This, by definition, increases the entertainment potential of a bitmap.
Yes. 1,000%.
Okay. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Oh,
well, we're not in that camp, obviously.
Yeah.
We want to increase the entertainment value, actually, and enable bitmap theory to actually exist in its conceptual form, but realized, right?
Yeah.
That's what this operating system is intended to do. Now, everybody who owns a bitmap, once this is finished,
yeah,
obviously this is in like its development stage, everyone's going to have access to basically become hosts to this type of virtual environment stack, right? So what does that mean? It means like the theory of bitmap has actually come to fruition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
And it's like in its truest form. It's
so obviously there's a lot of features and stuff that we're not really going to go into yet because I mean, the point of an operating system, right? Anytime you have a new OS release, there's a set of features that comes with that, right? And obviously the metaverse is a very feature expansive thing. So this is going to be a forever evolving platform, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a look at this, for example, right? 535.646.bitmap, right? We're looking at it on Mscribe. Here's the same bitmap. Look at this. This is parcel 0, right? This, right below it, is parcel 69, right? So here we are, parcel 0. Let's go below it, and let's see what parcel number this is. Here it is. What number is that, I-Man?
Looks like 69 to me, dude.
That's right. So,
Nice.
so what we've done
Nice.
we've taken this. This is the literal map of this metaverse.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to run the Bitmap operating system for your bitmap. It'll be generated based on what your bitmap actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to deploy practically anything that the community developers, creators make on said bitmap.
Correct. So that's where like this OS is going to come in critical, right? Like what are the developer tools that come along with this? Like what can be developed? Obviously, if you've paid attention to us, our great interest in this metaverse ecosystem and space is enabling as much functionality as possible, application grade quality of content.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of experience in these different virtual environments, and we know it's like the retention, the engagement, the value potential is significantly decreased when you just have like a static, non-functional metaverse experience, right? So
right.
Yeah, that is important, and that's our focus with this OS release, right?
Yeah. So, having said that, we are in full development mode. This is going to be the Bitmap operating system that I think is going to have the most potential in terms of like developer bandwidth, developer ecosystem, creativity, feature set.
Yeah, because Trevor asked last night during that Twitter space, he's like, you know, it's okay. Bitmap's a big fucking deal now. It's the #1 ordinal project. Very soon it'll probably be the #1 NFT in all of crypto. So it's like, is that it? Like, then what? Like, how do you expect this ecosystem to kind of like actually manifest? How do you attract developers and stuff like that, right? So you gave him a pretty good response, right? Do you remember what it was? Like, how do you actually get developers to come in and start building? Right?
Well, Bitmap is a social consensus token. And so once you have social consensus, it encourages developers to contribute to that ecosystem and build out things like this.
Right. And keep in mind, like us developers, like us, IMSO Chris, Mscribe.space, Recursive.io, Foxyverse, all these are like the first generation, first class of developers who came in, took up that call of duty.
Yeah.
Before the evidence of the market existed, right? That this is going to be like a worthy.
Yeah. This is going to be the top NFT project for all of crypto.
Yeah. Like, so there was obviously a tremendous risk involved in that. It's like allocating all of our developer resources and stuff to this.
Yes.
There's no proof that there's going to be anything like no ROI.
Yeah.
None of that. But now, considering Bitmap is 4 times bigger than the other side, bigger than the sandbox, bigger than Decentraland, I think there's enough juice in this ecosystem to attract a new generation of developers, right?
Yeah, which also attracts, scammers and all kinds of stuff. So
it's a good point.
So we need to recognize those of us who came before the confirmation, before the multiple 100 million market cap of the current day Bitmap, and recognize that those people took risks and, they faded us then, and now they're hot. And they're all on us.
Wow.
Right?
That sounds like a song. I think if you're not from Houston, Texas, you probably,
You don't know what the hell I'm
That's
talking
the great philosopher, Mike Jones.
Mike Jones, dude. Yeah, if you need to look him up, look him up. What how's it go again, dude? It's like, how's it go?
I forgot.
Yeah, TJ, refresh our minds.
Back then, hoes didn't want me.
Now I'm hot.
Now I'm
they
hot.
all on me.
That's right, dude.
So that's Bitmap, right?
That's it.
Back then, them hoes didn't want Bitmap, But now that Bitmap is hot, they all want it.
Yeah.
Everybody. To the point where everyone's copying it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Solana is just like soul maps, right?
Yeah, send me your money and you'll get a soul map.
A Bitmap clone, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's interesting what we're witnessing. So Bitmap is officially king. We made these predictions months ago. It will be king. It is king. It is dubbed.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. In the call with Trevor, I was like, instead of making this a parade of like we were right and you were wrong.
Yeah.
It's like instead, let's just do a postmortem and figure out how the hell we were able to make this prediction before all these confirmations. And I figured it was important to kind of distill the value of Bitmap in a way where we try to we try to distinguish like all the other activities in the metaverse that's happened in the past and it's happening now, and all these attempts.
Yeah.
Bitmap represents something completely different.
Yeah.
It could have been called anything else, and it would still be equal of value, right? It doesn't have Bitmap isn't like just some oracle name, right? It was the concept, the non-arbitrariness that was Bitmap that made it something unique and as valuable.
Yeah.
So that's it for our podcast today. Hopefully that gives you some context as to why we've been so confident about what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, and hopefully some context as to like why these bags under my eyes are getting bigger.
Yeah.
We've got a tremendous amount of work ahead of us, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to build the ecosystem support and attract the ecosystem support around non-arbitrary tokens and digital matter theory, which is on the horizon.
Yeah.
You can refer back to a video from last week. Signaling tracks support and official like launch expectation around Jubilee and such.
Yeah.
So we got that looming. And now we've just kind of unveiled unofficially the Bitmap operating system.
Right.
Which obviously is one hell of a development task ahead of us.
It is.
To kind of like make this feature rich, make this compatible to every single person who owns a Bitmap.
Yeah, we're like nonchalantly like putting it out
Talking
there like
about
it's
this.
not a big deal, but it's a very big deal, and it's a lot of work.
Correct. Otherwise, developers such as us or others don't put in this effort. At some point, like this euphoria, this mania around Bitmap is going to fizzle out.
Yeah, that's right.
Because right now, the degenomics of what Bitmap represents are kind of like taking over the market.
Yeah, eventually the price will just get too high, and people would just not pay, $3,000 for a Bitmap. They just won't do it.
Yeah, and if the developers don't step up and deliver real fundamental value actually that underpins a real digital economy.
Yeah, a $3,000 Bitmap will be cheap if the developers come in and start building on Bitmap.
Correct. So like that is really what needs to happen next in order for this not to just be like another one of crypto's
failed experiments.
Busts. Yeah. It could happen if the developers don't deliver.
Yeah.
It can.
This isn't a runaway success on its own. It takes work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Effort, community, like developers to go in and make stuff and attempt at being successful.
Yeah, and then economic sustainability at the core of all of this, right?
Yeah.
Like these developers, they need to maintain and they need to grow, and then we need to attract outside ecosystem developers to become participants, right? And then once you got that going, dude, fucking Roblox is gonna look like a prototype. You know what I mean?
Well said, dude.
Yeah.
That was a dunk right there.
Pretty much. They call me Shaq from time to time.
I'll take Kobe, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, no, I'm Kobe because I have 24.NAT. Or not dot, I have the 24.
You have number 24?
I do have number 24.
God, lucky dog, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
God damn it.
That's like the only sub 100 that I got. Like the rest of them completely failed.
Yeah.
Or I got front run like hardcore.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, dude. Wasn't expecting like the world to notice NATs
on 7-day blockout. That's
I guess
ridiculous.
It made sense. We did kind of talk about it beforehand, so it makes sense. But yeah, I have more sub 100 bitmaps than I do.
Wow.
NAT.
Wow.
It's interesting, right?
That is interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Hopefully you enjoyed this entertaining podcast. Please share it with others. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be posted pretty much like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a global holiday. It's a time for all of us to pause. And
I think it might, right before Christmas. You're right.
Yeah, it's time for all of us to pause like we just did and reflect on the year. And I guess really appreciate that we're still here, dude.
Yeah.
We haven't fizzled out yet. And
we're definitely getting tired. That's for sure.
Yeah. A little bit of a rest.
Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate it. And follow our Twitter. 10K followers. So that's quite an achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for us. Appreciate you. And we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Peace.